Alright, we are back from our break, and let's get back to some things that the players wanted to do. Solas, you wanted to visit the Seekers, correct?
Yes, I want to visit my master that is also my closest superior in the Seekers.
Okay. Okay, so you head over to the Library of the Spheres.
Yeah, I don't remember if I've given his name to you, so I will put it on the chat in Roll20.
Okay. I hate you so much.
Well, he is also from Celtic world.
Yeah, but there was a reason why I suggested Welsh for you.
That's from Welsh name generator.
That is not Welsh. That is Irish. That is most definitely Gaelic.
Does seem Irish.
That is absolutely 100% Gaelic.
Well,
all the older Solas names.
I did use the same name generator, so...
Well, he's not officially been named in-game. Change it.
Do you know how to pronounce it?
Somewhat. I did ask one Welsh guy who said how to pronounce it.
What, Avak?
Old won't even let me.
Not him.
Let me give names to the crew. Now you want to give him unpronounceable names.
Well, he's a bit more stable in my character's background. I mean, he is my master.
All right. So how were you told that it was pronounced?
Frank.
If I remember correctly, it was Dobharaku or Koalaini.
Okay.
Not 100% pronunciation there, but...
I swear, you guys. All right. So you go to meet your master, whose name I shall not be said. And he how old is he?
He's close to 70.
Okay,
and
so
he's human.
So he's elderly.
Yeah.
Ah, Solas, it's good to see you. How are you doing?
It's good to see you, my master. I hope you are in good health.
Ah, well, as good as I can be for my age. Thank you, thank you. It's, I like taking walks, especially through the festival grounds. It's good for me at my age.
Yes, it is most entertaining action.
Do tell me what's been going on with you lately.
Well, we've had quite the adventure recently. We actually returned a long-lost artifact of the Dumatho into Forge space on Anvil.
Oh, that is a job well done.
Yes, we were waylaid by some illithid ships from Falks that wanted that artifact for themselves.
Managed to fight them off? I'm impressed.
Yes, though it was quite close.
I'd expect it to be.
I have actually written reports, detailed reports of it, and authors. There's some interesting things that the Seekers might be interested in them. Like that artifact was used to power Artifurnace that was used to move Citadel from sphere to sphere.
That is an impressive feat.
Yes.
I've heard rumors and legends of such things being done, but never actually confirmed it for myself. I'm sure that our colleagues would be more than eager to read your report.
Yes, I have a detailed information. Of course, some of this information is some such delicate information that it should not be spread quite so openly.
Oh, have you written that down in a separate document?
Yes, I have.
Good. We'll make sure that is not distributed. We'll send it on to Compendium and keep it there.
Yes, I was thinking that this would be something seekers would be quite interested in, like how can you move such a huge asteroid base from sphere to sphere?
Well, no one truly knows the limits of those artifurnaces. They are quite rare. But this is
Yes,
certainly
indeed.
good evidence to at least knowing where the limits do not lie.
Yes, and it seems that you can use those artifurnaces to, even if you do not have any spellcasting capability, to spelljam.
Yes, that's often been suspected. Well, I'd be more than happy to take those reports from you and review them and send them on.
Of course, here they are, and here's the discrete in parts of them.
Indeed. Thank you. It's good information to be adding to our library.
Yes, I thought so, and I was also. My group is planning to head for green space, so I was thinking if seekers here had something that they would like to deliver at our chapters in there.
Well, we don't have a specific chapter. It's mostly those who visit there. There's a very fine library in a city called Palanthus, I believe. That is
I
most
must.
often where we congregate if we are there, but it is a groundling city, and we have to be quite discreet when we're there.
Yes, I understand that.
I will speak to the other members, see if there is anything that needs to be delivered.
Of course, and I was also thinking if you had something that you might want from the hair.
Me personally, no, I can't think of anything offhand. I'd be just eager to read whatever your reports have to say about the sphere. It's not one that I've been to.
Well, then I will take as much notes as I can.
Yes, I look forward to it.
Yes. Do you know anyone who knows more about our presence in there? Since I would be interested in visiting our members there if possible.
Well, I'll have someone swing by and speak with you about that.
Yes, that would be most kind.
All right. So what you'll eventually learn is that there isn't a specific chapter, partly
Okay.
because of there's been a lot of upheavals in the sphere lately. So the fact that there is this impressive library that they try to visit that as much as possible, and it's kind of the unofficial headquarters. But it is on a groundling world, and members of the Seekers who would not blend in well, much to their disappointment, kind of have to avoid that.
Yeah, they can't really go there.
So you don't see a whole lot of like Herwady or Hadazee Seekers visiting there. They tend to avoid the sphere.
I also, before I leave the Seekers, I will check the what was it called? Yes, the bulletin board for questions that the seekers are seeking answers at the moment.
There's nothing specific to Kryn listed there.
Yeah, but if there is anything that might pique my fancy.
Yeah, you make personal notes of that.
Okay, and I will also ask my master if he has heard from my family in some time, since he is family friend.
No, not lately. Just got a letter some time ago about your sister returning home, arriving back safely.
Oh, that is so good to hear. I was worried if she was able to return safely.
If I hear anything else, I'll be sure to pass it on. You have an office that I can leave such things with when you're not here, right?
Yes, there's our company office, and also if for some reason the office is unavailable, our group also has asteroid base in this sphere.
The office is probably best. Wouldn't want to pay a ship to visit your asteroid and just to deliver a message.
Yes, of course.
Well, I thank you for your visit, and I look forward to hearing what you see in Kryn space.
Yes, I will look forward to telling all of what I discover from there. And I wish you good health.
And you as well, my...
Not sure what he would call you.
He's
Pupil.
Probably
yeah,
at this
most
point,
likely.
my friend. Yeah.
Mhm.
And you as well, my friend.
I mean, you've kind of graduated beyond being his pupil at this point.
Well, in heart, Solas is always his pupil.
Sure, but it's kind of the thing that, he would now see you not as a pupil, but as a friend.
Yeah.
So that's why he would call you friend. Okay. So you take a mental note of the bulletin board. Nothing specific to Kryn, but you kind of make a note if any of those things come up. Some of them are fairly general, so they certainly could be something that you could find out in Kryn or something like that.
Yeah.
Some of them are like the whereabouts of people who haven't gone missing. Seekers who've gone missing. That sort of thing.
Yeah, and of course I make a clear note of the most interesting academic questions in the bulletin board.
Okay.
And after leaving the Seekers, I will quickly go and check the temple and talk with the layman priest there.
Okay.
Basically checking up if there's have been any problems or if things are okay.
They're doing well. They mentioned that there was a ship from a sphere that they weren't familiar with that passed by some weeks ago. Kind of an exploration trader vessel kind of thing. It just lands at a port, sells off whatever they have that they can sell off, and buys whatever looks promising that might be sold, valuable elsewhere. And turned out that they were from a sphere that none of the members of the church had heard of, but discovered that they were all followers of the Dagda and stuff like that.
That's interesting to know, and I will send a note of this to my superiors in the Church of Ogma.
Okay.
In my next letter to there.
Okay. Anything else that you wanted to get done?
Not really. I think I'm okay at this point.
Okay. Lafdul? You had some other
Yes.
things?
I want to make an inquiry on Leva's behalf.
Mm-hmm.
Figuring out if I... well, it's kind of something that slips my mind. May have slipped her mind. It's just I'm chasing it up if Samara had any information on Leva. On Thorax, I believe his name was.
Yeah, so Samara tells you that all she's been able to dig up since then is that he seemed to have some contacts with an extended network of kind of antiquities traders type thing, and it's not something that the Thieves Guild has anything to do with. You know, oftentimes the things can be considered illegal, but they're, you know, like, tend to be ancient artifacts from tombs and stuff like that. It's more that occasionally, you know, these, you know, things get sold, and then someone will come along from the place that they were taken from and, you know, be looking after them. She hasn't found anything specific with regards to that sort of thing with Leva's master, Thoriax. But she does mention that kind of antiquities trade might be a thing to look at. She doesn't have any specific names because this was quite a while ago and there's been some changeover in the people. But
It's an investigation route.
Yeah.
Find out who previously dealt with our antiquities.
yeah, it seemed to be a thing that he seemed to have a particular interest. Someone, like, you know, who's retired from that now remembered him being interested in some illicit artifacts.
Oh, who is this person?
She gives you his name, but he's retired and kind of like traveling the spheres now, kind of thing. He was a seller, but he made enough money that he purchased his own small vessel, and now just kind of travels around.
Does this vessel have a name?
Yes, it is a dragonfly.
Dragonfly.
And it is called...
Didn't we come across a dragon? Yeah, well, it's common shit.
Dragonflies are very common, yeah. Especially, you know, they do a lot of smuggling, they do a lot of small package trade, messengers. But they're also kind of, you know, they may often be used as small warships and landing craft and stuff like that. So, yeah, they're extremely common. It is known as the White Wing.
White Wing. That's a lead. We could make inquiries whenever it heads in port for a certain ship. Well, that's quite useful. I thank Samaria.
She does have his name, and she will give it to you. It is...
Oh, this is going to be a hard one for me to write down. Names are always awkward.
Hargash Thondor.
Thondor.
Yeah.
Thondor?
Yep. First name Hargash.
Hargash.
Yep.
Gash.
Yeah, G.
Hargash. Is this it?
Yep.
No. Oh, yay. Miracles do happen.
Say that the names are always difficult for you.
Well, I put hard ash at first. That would be useful to Leva. Am I telling her about that? I don't know if you're actually writing this down, Leva. I mean, I'll be telling you this, obviously, but...
He must be a pirate.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, Leva writes it down.
Oh, this is going to be awkward if he's with.
No, he's not a pirate. He's definitely not a pirate.
That's a shame, because his surname starts Har.
It's terrible. So he was essentially what would be considered an antiquities trader. Types of people who purchase, especially very old, unusual artwork, sculpture, things like that.
He'd be interested in some of the stuff we come across.
Tends to be looted from tombs. The type of thing that the locals tend not to want looted. You know, and it gets sold to, you know, the wealthy people, you know, wealthier people and stuff like that. Sometimes they handle magical items if they're found there as well. You know, and other magical artifacts and you know, holy objects from ancient temples and stuff like that. It's there isn't an interstellar law thing going on, so it's not strictly illegal, but it is shady.
Yeah, the kind of stuff we all do. Well, an area of what we deal with.
Right, but like you wouldn't just like land on a planet and find out that oh yeah, there's a great tomb over there to our dead king, and just say, hey, well, let's just go dig it up and loot all the stuff there, because you would know that the people there would get a little bit pissy. The tombs that you loot tend to be ones that are forgotten about and no one cares about anymore, for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's what would set you looting a tomb, your group looting a tomb, from these people looting tombs.
Yeah. All right, let's see.
Samara would let you know that as she understands it, he travels within the Radiant Triangle, Brawl Space, and the Arcane Inner Flow. Perhaps. Like, that's the best information that she has on that.
Radiant Triangle.
Reminded of a Egyptian-themed campaign I'm running where the government basically said, okay, we're making it legal to rob tombs as long as you work for us. To encourage tourism.
Mm.
Mm.
And it did not go as planned.
I can imagine.
They awakened something, I'll tell you that.
Well, that's a lot to go on. That's better than a needle in a haystack that she had to go with before.
Yep.
You're pretty good at your job.
She gives you a grin and says, "That's why I'm here."
So how much do you know about me?
She gives you a very, very small, sly smile and says, well, was there anything else that you needed?
No, not today. I'm heading over to Corinne's space. We're hunting down a pirate. Me and my company that I'm with.
I will need a donation for this work that I've been doing, of course.
She wants, like, well, how much does she want?
She'll leave it up to you.
Oh, last time she... Oh, this means a lot. I will give... This is of personal value to Level. I will give her 2 trade bars. This is quite a lot I'm giving her.
Oh.
I'm giving her 1,000.
She lets out a whistle and says, well...
This means a lot to my friend, so...
Apparently so. I will definitely let you know if I hear anything else.
Yes, this doesn't happen all the time, but, you know...
Was there anything else that you wanted to ask her about?
Not specifically. I will see if they got any unholy water here.
Well, as you're taking leave from her little office, she says, yes, I got a message from someone. It's a pretty simple message. Just says hi. From someone who said you didn't recognize the name Jewel?
Oh, God.
Oh, no.
Really? Was this? How did you come by this message?
It
Where?
arrived on a vessel.
When?
Ooh, almost a month ago now.
And they said to. Well, that's not surprising. Oh, she's always a fun one. That one.
Oh, I'll have to make a note of that.
Hmm.
Sounds like someone I might want to know.
Yes, just keep your valuables safe.
I always
She
do.
takes a shining to them. She took a shining to mine as I learnt my lesson.
I always do.
Alright, awkward. Alright, yeah, I just go a regular Thieves Guild, learn about latest news and stuff, meet small talk, and do they have any can I buy some illicit stuff?
Just as a quick side note, it feels a little too coincidental for her to be mentioning this right after you asked about what she knows about you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, the Thieves
She
Guild,
had
what
a
are you looking for?
Yeah, well, it does seem a bit.
It's probably her.
Yes.
I'm not saying anything. The thought crossed my mind.
How do you know this woman?
She's in the Thieves Guild. She has been for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, I'm just playing some unholy water, some foul-smelling incense and stuff. That's all.
Okay.
She's probably been following you around. You think she's been doing research, but she's been following you around, turning herself into various crew members to come on a ship.
Are you saying that Lafdul has a fan?
Have you ever seen the film Play Misty for Me?
There was that one. Oh, what was it? I was affected. Oh, that reminds me. I got to keep praying for the tarot card. So I was affected by that. There was another tarot card that I don't know what did. I think I had to. Who else had tarot cards that had effects? Braxon did.
Almost everyone has had tarot cards that have affected them.
I don't think I noticed any effects on me.
If only you would actually do something about that deck of cards.
It's in the dead box.
I know. There's a difference between putting it away and forgetting about it and doing something about it, though.
Are we still at
need
Brawl?
to destroy
Yes,
it.
you're still at Brawl.
Yeah.
Okay, then
blow it up.
I'm taking the deck with me, and I'm headed straight to the Temple of Tyr.
I'm
In the
actually
black box.
Wait, why?
The temples were pretty reluctant on destroying it here.
And I would recommend having an actual plan rather than doing something spur of the moment. That would be my recommendation.
Then here's a plan.
Because again, yes, you did talk to some of the temples, and they were very reluctant to have anything to do with it.
Well, here's a plan. How much are one of the bombs that Higgins used to use?
Destroying it would have catastrophic effects. It's whether or not where you can do it.
I say, what are the stars made out of in Brow Space?
Well, no. Here was my plan. I was thinking about going into taking it and a bomb to the phlogiston, putting the bomb into the black box.
You can't remotely detonate it. You would have to be there. You would go in the explosion. But if you're a certain druid, it's immune to fire.
Yeah.
There's more to the fire. There's more to those bombs than just fire.
Yeah.
But it's something to think about. I don't think we can do anything about it right now.
But if we could blow it up in the phlogiston somehow.
Surely nothing bad will happen.
Well,
surely.
It's disconnected from the plane, so anything that bad happens is got to be in the deck itself.
Yeah, are we prepared to fight something that's created by a very, 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 very powerful devil? Can't remember what she was. I'm not saying her name because I know that's bad back in D&D. I know what her name is.
We would have to do prep work, yes.
Can we find out what stars in Brow Space are?
They're constellates.
Right, but do they burn things up? I know, like, well, I don't know if Braxon knows, but I know that the stars in Kryn space are portals to the plane of radiance.
I think that's realm space, not Kryn space.
Well, I just looked in the book.
Did it actually? Does it actually say? I don't remember seeing anything.
Yeah,
about
well, what I'm saying is if we could go to a star, we could catapult the thing into the star.
Yeah.
Inside the dead box to get rid of it, or we could catapult it into a sun. One or the other.
We gotta make sure it's not one of those suns you can walk on like the one in Fort Space, though.
Yeah. But what I mean is, we could do something like that as a plan.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds like a good plan.
The constellations in Brawl space are not extremely hot. They're constellates, so they're actually creatures.
Right.
So we gotta take this to either realm space or Kryn space if they got those portals.
We're going close to, what was that other one? Path space, was it?
I do not have a note on what path space stars are, and I'm reluctant to create that off the on a spur of the moment without having more thought about what...
I don't think we bought the book, did we? I think we just bought the chart, so we wouldn't know. Yeah, so we can do that in Kryn space. What could possibly go wrong?
Nothing.
I mean, it's not like all the constellations in Kryn space are possessed by deities.
Well, if we really mess this up, we could accidentally spark another War of the Lance.
Yeah, that'd be fine. That'd be fine. Is that at the very beginning of the Kryn space book?
Yeah. Oh, sorry, I put the book down now.
I found it. Okay.
Yeah, it's at the beginning.
Okay. All right. So yeah. That's. I mean, if you want to take that as an option, you can definitely do something with that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The trouble is, how close can we get before our ship blows up?
So the reason why I brought it up is not so that you do something about it right now, but because you've put it in the box, I have definitely gotten the impression that it's like out of sight, out of mind, and I don't want it to be out of sight, out of mind for you.
Yeah, it's not, but we currently have some other pressing issues.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to Kryn anyway, so sounds like a good idea.
Right.
But for now, have we done everything we need to on Brawl?
I don't know. Is there anything else that anyone wants to do?
I am buying some stuff, but I don't need to roleplay it out. I'm buying some vials and ceramic jars and some sealing wax, various assortments.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Good idea. Leva also buy some tea, Mayobaba tea.
You bought some last time.
Yeah, you did.
Yesterday. No, I mean, not yesterday, last week.
Yes, a few days ago. Yes, I just bring it up to so we remember. In case you want to try it too.
She's making a killing off of us, I swear.
Hmm.
I think Braxon will want to go and check in with his church and see if there's some sort of procedure for him becoming a lay priest, because he's a failed priest, and see if there's any way he could learn how to do healing in the future.
Sadly, we won't be able to brew the tea on the ship because Higamus took his Tinker Gnome contraption with him.
Well,
that's
in the
Phlogiston.
Yeah. So, Braxon, the main thing is that you'd still need to go through a period of training.
Yeah, I get that. Which you can't do now.
And it would require you to, like, if you find yourself on Brawl for a number of months, that would be something that you could do. Yes.
Right. Okay.
He could never change class, could he? Like, fully change class.
Not without a wish spell.
No.
I mean, yeah.
It's like forsaking your old class completely, not dual class, and forsaking it.
No, there's no such thing as forsaking an old class. The only similar thing would be dropping out of being a specialist wizard or being a fallen paladin or ranger. The only other, I mean, like, if you just don't use your abilities, you just don't use your abilities.
The abilities themselves don't go away.
But the only option for changing class is dual classing.
And I don't think Braxon's got the stats for dual class.
Not right now. I mean, you're
closest
close enough on
one
you're close enough on some
Thief, isn't it?
abilities that if some of your stats were to go up through magical means or something like that, then yeah,
Right.
you could.
What's your dex? Because you need 17 dex. That's closer than your wisdom.
Oh,
So 14 or 15, isn't it?
let's have a look. Well, I got something sucked out of me. Dex is 15.
Yeah, you got your wisdom. Yeah, so you only need 2 dex for dual class to a thief.
Yeah, Braxon's wisdom is terrible.
Yeah.
So he couldn't become a cleric. That's
Why
why
did you ask Patar to try and fix it?
clearly why. Yeah.
I mean, you
Lafdul keeps
could have
forgetting.
been a cleric at the
He could have been a
beginning.
cleric.
Yeah, you could have been a cleric from the start.
Could have been a very poor quality cleric.
When you start your character, you multi-class, you don't need...
No, multiclassing is different. You just need the minimum.
Yeah.
You could be a fighter mage with a 9 strength and 9 intelligence.
Yeah.
And if you're a mage or a cleric and your prime requisite, your or any class really, one of the basic classes, a thief if your dexterity goes below 9, fighter if your strength goes below 9, etc., you don't lose the class. You're still that class.
You just get loaded consequences.
No,
You're just terrible.
Yeah, you're just terrible.
you managed to pass boot camp, and wow.
Yeah.
If you got worse, it's your own fault.
All right,
No,
so
I'm just-
anything else that you guys want to do?
No.
No. All right.
Go to green space.
Okay.
Catch the pirates.
If there's any
think at this
basic
point,
stuff that you
yeah.
want to purchase that you think of afterwards, I'm fine retconning it by next session or something like that. That's
Okay.
not a big deal.
Yeah, I think there was a limit on how much unholy water I could buy, and it was twice the price.
Yes, it is twice the price, and they probably would only have. Let's see. Let me roll it up.
2 last time.
How much were you thinking of buying now?
Probably just 2.
All right, then yeah, they have that. I don't have to roll.
Okie-dokie.
All right, so you guys finish up your work. How many days do you think you'd spend on Brawl? I figure at least 3 so far.
I'd say 3 would be okay-ish.
Actually, I am going to raise this question because it does need to be discussed. Could I leave the elephant corpse on Asteroid if I leave it in a coffin? It's magically preserved. It's going to last at least a year or something.
Have
It
you taken
shouldn't
the skin off?
smell. No, this is one I haven't touched, other than drained it of its blood and ichor. This is the Illithid Noble, the one that had 6 tentacles.
You would need to stop back off because you didn't get a
Yeah.
coffin made beforehand.
Never thinks of the skin.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, I've given you plenty of other skin.
That's true.
I mean, we could use this skin later down the line, I suppose,
Why do you keep it?
because it's a very, very rare creature, I guess. How
Have
many
you-
of these with 6 tentacles have you ever seen?
What's the
Leva
chance of...
actually, I don't know. Has Leva seen those? Old? Because she's done the quote trading unquote for her master.
Perhaps you might not have necessarily noticed it. It was never one that you dealt with. But at the same time, like, you might have, like, the Illithids tend to go, wear robes and hoods and stuff like that around Brawl when actually outside of their embassy. So it's entirely possible that you encountered one here on, like, any of you encountered one on Brawl and didn't know it. Leva, you may have encountered one before and not remembered or realized it, not noticed it. You would have noticed it if it was one that you were directly interacting with, but you were never just interacting with, or I mean, there were times when there were other lithids around than just the one that you were interacting with.
Yes, that's true.
It's enough to know that they are rare.
Why don't you want to talk to it?
I already talked to it.
Oh,
I
okay.
Thing is, I have used them in spell components, and I don't know if I can use this one in spell components, and I don't really want to be dragging a corpse around with me.
No.
That makes sense.
I mean,
Bad
it's not going to smell, and it's in a coffin. It's preserved magically. It's just a box that I am going to ward. I want to purchase I want to run a bike. Can we drop the stuff with the asteroid?
It's up to everyone else.
Yeah, but if someone gets hold of this, they might be able to bring it back to life.
Well, it's drained of blood.
Yeah.
Regular means of raising the dead won't work. You need a very
Raised dead would never work anyway because it's an illithid.
Yeah.
Resurrection would work just fine.
Yeah. Like, if we find someone who is friends with this and enemies of us, and they decide to bring it back to life, we might have to deal with it again.
Yeah, but
So I'm not saying don't leave this on our asteroid, but I don't think you should leave it on our asteroid forever if you've got research to do.
No, until the end of this campaign.
Yeah.
That we're going on. I'll have a plan to deal with it when we get back. I just can't think of anything on the immediate future, that's all.
Okay.
So literally until when we're done with this campaign. None.
Yeah, I mean, does anyone have any objections to stopping off at the asteroid again?
No.
Nope.
Okay.
If we're going to stop off at the asteroid, is there anything useful we could take, like plants?
Oh yeah, I would probably. I would try and get more healing herb plants. So actually, I'd probably mention that to Solas or Finn, if they want to get it.
Solas and Leva have talked about a laboratory. If we wanted to do something like install something like a laboratory, would we need some to buy stuff from Brawl? And
do you mean on our ship or on our asteroid?
Well, based on the book, the laboratory we would need is 400 square feet for a research library, and to be able to make magic items, it would require to be 600 square feet. On top of that.
That would seem to be too big for the ship.
Yeah, it would be on our asteroid.
It doesn't matter now. That's going to be in the construction phase on our asteroid.
Yeah.
After we finish this mission.
My question was just, would we need to buy something from Brawl and bring it with, or should we do that? So
you would need to buy stuff on Brawl. You need equipment, but you don't need that until the laboratory is ready.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
The only thing I'd say is when healing things like those berries was mentioned, that would be something that if we could get that and put it on our ship, if we got more room on the ship, we could do that now and carry it around with us. But it's probably not worth buying that sort of stuff for our asteroid yet. Might be able to order that stuff as well. We've got contacts on a couple of asteroids, so if we wanted more plants, we might be able to import.
I will purchase.
I think we're ready to go.
And have it brought to a ship.
Yeah, I'm sorry. What was that, Lafdul?
I would like to get a coffin.
Okay.
Purchased or made. I assume it wouldn't be too hard.
Yep.
Be done over the course of a day.
That would
off of the ship.
That would probably run 20 gold pieces.
All right. I assume it would be nailed shut once I can nail it shut or whatever.
Yeah, it's up to you.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna magically priest lock it, but I mean, someone could smash it, but
Yeah, no, it's just a matter. I mean, like, they certainly wouldn't nail it shut before you get it, kind of thing.
Yeah.
All right, so you set off from Brawl. You've replaced any crew that you need. There's been some changeover because some people have said, hey, I'm good. I got my pay. I'm going on to do something else, that sort of thing. And you set off towards your asteroid. So that will be 1 day.
Mm-hmm.
The trip is uneventful, and you'll basically spend a day there reviewing everything again and setting up anything and last minute things like, some people forget some things and stuff like that.
Yep.
And then you set off for the sphere wall.
I don't know if it matters, but I am casting Priest Lock and I'm casting Glyph of Warding on it.
Okay. Just keep that in
And
mind.
Glyph of Warding is for poison.
Okay.
So,
Just make sure, you've taken notes of that.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, make sure the workers have been told not to go anywhere near it.
It only triggers when it's actually opened.
Yeah.
And it's Priest Locked, so they can't open it easily.
So you still need to tell the workers building.
Yeah, I just say, don't
open
try to
that.
open this if you value your life, kind of thing.
I mean, you've got kind of a strong room there where you had all your smoke powder too, so you just leave it in there.
I just leave
know
it
enough
saying
to leave that room
dangerous
alone.
Fair enough.
All right. So you expect the trip to the sphere wall to take about a week. After 3 days of travel, it's late on the first shift, about the 10th hour. You drop out of spelljamming speed, and you see a whale ship off the starboard bow, on a heading roughly crossing yours.
Does it look like it's going to go in front of us?
Hard to say from this point. And Leva, you had a question?
I didn't understand what type of ship.
A whale ship.
Whale ship. Okay, thank you.
Looks like a big sperm whale.
Okay.
And it's painted a kind of a middling blue tone.
Who's on shift?
It's first shift.
First shift.
Which I suppose we probably need to talk about any changes to shifts.
I don't know if we nailed down the shifts, but
we've also not done the formal who is the new first officer. I assume it's Ockar, but we need to actually roleplay that out.
Yeah.
You don't need to roleplay it out. You can just
Well,
say.
I remember Braxon saying it was me.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think he said that because he wasn't certain.
I put a question mark on that. I think that's what would be.
I suppose the question is, we'll do this semi-quickly. Is anyone objecting to him being first officer then? Or do people want to actually vote who they want? Or how do people want to do this? Because it's kind of a case of the person has to want to do it in the first place.
Well, yeah, there's also like how many people. Yeah. Before we sort of said it should be fighters so that it frees up the spellcasters to do other stuff. You don't have to do that now.
It's more convenient for us to not be the officers. Yeah.
Ockar, would you be the first officer?
Sure.
Yeah, well, there you go.
Should we... Yeah, I mean, if anyone's going to object, they should object now. I mean, I don't really have any strong
Or hold
objections.
their peace.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll sort out the rest of the officer positions later. So first shift is going to be Braxon.
Just as a side note, you don't need specific officer positions as long as there's essentially a chain of command, so that the crew knows that if Leva says something and Lafdul says something that's contradictory, whose takes precedence, kind of thing.
Yeah.
That you can figure out later. For now, I'm sorry.
Leva's naturally.
Isn't that always the way?
All right, so the old shift was on the helm Nor, and then you had Ockar, Higamus, and Leva. That was first shift. I see no reason to change that specifically. Second shift was on the helm Nemariel, and then Braxon and Lafdul. So again, no reason to change that. That just leaves Finn and Solas as where they would be. If you guys are happy with that.
I think last time I was basically in between shifts.
Right.
At
Yeah,
the
but
very
you're
least,
gonna-
keep a mage on each side of the
There's-
shift. So
Right. So hang on.
Makes it
First
easier
shift.
then.
First shift was Nor.
Yeah.
Ockar.
What?
Ockar.
Higamus, Leva.
Yeah, Higamus was on first shift. So it was Nor, Ockar, Higamus, and Leva.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So without Higamus, Ockar being first officer, it seems reasonable to just have him take command now on that shift.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Finn, so that you have Solas on the second shift, and you have two mages, two wizards.
you want to split the wizards up.
Right, so they're split, that's what I mean. So Leva's on first shift, Solas is on second shift, and Finn is on first shift, and Lafdul's on second shift. So you've got priests split up between the two.
Should I swap with Finn because I have healing and Finn doesn't?
Finn has healing.
Does he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Did he
think
get that
Lafdul
recently?
meant healing
Finn, do you
proficiency.
have a preference?
No.
Lafdul wants Braxon to die.
No, it's not about that. I'm pretty sure he didn't have
joking.
healing proficiency. He only had
Oh,
herbalism.
I mean, he has healing spells. That's what I
Yeah.
thought you were talking about.
No.
Right. So who was? We've lost our. Have we lost the helmsman?
No.
No. Who do we have for? Our second shift is
Second shift is Nemariel on the helm,
Mary.
and Braxon and Lafdul.
We could potentially shift one of the current helmsmen to that new one we recruited, since doesn't the new one have a higher spelljammer rate?
But
And
if
keep
he's on standby, then you can swap him in and get higher
Yeah,
speed
true.
in combat
Yeah,
situations.
well, yeah, true.
Otherwise,
That's the point of him being on standby.
if he's on first shift and you get attacked on second shift, then you can't swap him in.
Well, yeah, true.
How
Yeah.
often do we get people get attacked in Brown Spear? Because we're relatively.
I mean,
a couple of days.
There's pirates and stuff like that. We just need to,
It's,
figure out. We
common,
just need to
wasn't it?
figure out the shifts so you know who's up when you.
Yeah. Let's do the shifts. Right. So Solas, are you happy being on Braxon shift?
I don't have anything against against either shift, so I can be in that shift.
Okay.
All right, Finn.
So
do you have a preference?
No, not really.
we'll just do that for now. It might be worth us later coming up with a third shift in case we want to do 8-hour shifts anytime. But I don't know if we got enough people for that.
So what's the end result? Yeah.
Lafdul, did you want to move to first shift then?
It was just to split up the healing proficiencies. That was all.
That's fine. Then do you want to move to first shift?
Yeah, I can move to first shift.
You can, but do you want to? Is that like
Like,
give me actual solid answers, yes or no?
all right, now.
Okay. So then Finn will be on first shift.
Right.
All right.
And Solas is?
On second shift.
Okay.
I mean, if you want to change it, you can. I was just saying you got people already on these shifts. There's no reason, I wasn't seeing any reason to move them, but you guys did see potential reasons. If you want to shift that around, like have Leva move to second shift and...
Well, if Lafdul is on the second shift, then I could be on the first shift since I have healing proficiency.
Yes, but now
Yeah,
it's
Finn.
4 and 4, which is more or less equal. If it's 5 and 3, that's
But then
not
Leva,
bad
you could
either.
move to second shift.
Yeah. Anyone that wants to swap shifts has got to swap with the other person that does the same sort of thing as them.
Which is
I don't care.
fine by me.
I don't care.
Then what do you? Then
Let's-
would you prefer that as a group, so that you have the healing proficiency split up?
I think it would be helpful.
Like, I mean, ultimately, it doesn't matter where you guys are, so long as like, if Ockar's first officer and Braxon is a captain, they can't be on the same shift because you need that split, and the same other kind of thing applies. Otherwise, it doesn't matter who's on what shift.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's helpful, and the role-playing reason for it would be that if someone gets injured during their shift from the crew members, they know who to go to.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't
Treatment.
necessarily waste magic, but we do have magic.
Yeah.
Okay.
The main thing's gonna
So
be.
if Lafdul is on the second shift, then I will be on the first shift to give healing proficiency there.
All right. So, we've got
And Finn?
Finn's on shift 1.
Yeah, Braxon, Solas.
Then we have 5 on shift 1 and...
No, we don't.
And so,
Shift 1 would be Nor, Finn, Ockar, and Solas. Shift 2 is Nemariel, Leva, Braxon, Lafdul.
okay.
And our other spellcaster and our navigator are floaters. Well, I suppose the other navigator would be on the shift with Ockar.
Well, you don't have another navigator.
We have
Oh,
now.
you have your specific
Right now.
navigator. Yes.
Yeah.
He's not really a combat personnel.
Well, he's not a combat person, and he doesn't need to actively do things constantly. It's just like, check it once a day for course corrections and stuff like that.
Right. Okay. Fair enough.
I have
Yeah,
a
bear back
generalized
quickly,
question.
a couple minutes.
Sure, Leva.
The spell enhanced rating.
Mhm.
How much does that enhance the rating?
Does it not say in the book? I think it's just by 1.
I think it's by 1.
So it doesn't actually bring that much, right?
Yeah, it does.
1 is a
Would
lot.
it-
1 is actually a lot.
1's useful.
Especially if you're already higher level character. It's harder to increase the rating more by leveling.
If
By
you
1
think
to 2
about
points. 1 to 2 points.
Yeah, back.
And it cannot cast I cannot cast Leva cannot cast it on herself. But if
Enhanced
we were
rating.
attacked again, then that would help, wouldn't it?
it lasts 1 to 4 rounds plus caster level.
Well, that can be quite long.
Oh yeah. But it's basically it'll last for a fight. It's not something you can cast at the beginning of the day on the helmsman.
No, I didn't think so. But when we see that we're about to be attacked,
Yeah.
Leva could race downstairs and cast it on whoever is the helpsman of the shift.
And a nice wild sage fireball.
Psst.
Results of combat, because we're no longer in combat.
Yeah.
You can also
since
you
it
can
says
also do-
since it says it increases it by 1 to 2, then it would be 1d2.
Okay.
she can also reverse that spell and cast it on an enemy helmsman.
Yeah, but its range is only 10 yards.
Yeah.
I have to be there. We need to employ an
basically- Basically, we need to have a wild search happen while Leva casts spell that teleports her to the enemy helm's room, and
Yeah.
Yes.
If she learned teleport, she could teleport.
then
there and back.
another wild search to teleport her back.
Okay, so so you've dropped out of spelljamming speed, and you see a whale ship off the starboard bow.
Yeah.
On a heading that will take it roughly across your route.
So
this
if
is on-
this is
this
the
is
first
on
shift,
first
then
shift.
Ockar.
Yes.
So not my problem.
Very authoritarian of you.
Oh, Ockar is in charge.
Ockar, what do you want to do?
Are we run into trouble?
There's a ship that is almost crossing us but we don't know anything about the ship.
We know
Okay.
it's a whale ship.
Yeah, it's a whale ship, but nothing else. So
I think we should observe it and see what it does, and see if it and get a signaler out here in case it tries to signal us.
well, we could also signal them first.
I want them to signal. I want to see what they do.
Well, you are on a
I think-
possible collision course with it, Ockar.
Okay. Well, first we're gonna move out of the way.
So real
So-
fast, so you have a better understanding of what's going on. It's pretty far off. You've dropped out of spell jamming speed. It's total of 15 hexes away. So it's not like right on top of you, but the direction that it's traveling, it is either going to cross in front of you, at you, or behind you, unless it turns.
I'm assuming our NPC that does the signalling will be on Ockar's shift.
Yes.
Okay. So here's the plan. We're going to do a bit of an evasive maneuver to stay out of its path and keep an eye on it. And see if it signals us. And if a few minutes pass and it gets closer about signaling us, we'll signal them to see if something's up.
Okay. All right. So you alter course. So it's off the starboard bow. Do you want to turn to the starboard or turn to the port?
Port.
Okay. It is also turning to the port, you see. Clearly with the intention of swinging around you. Definitely does not appear to be moving particularly fast.
Okay.
You do not see it signaling you.
Okay. We'll wait a little bit and then do a signal to it. Basically, just normal greetings, asking if there's anything wrong, anything like that. Business out here, stuff like that, you know?
Okay. In response, they signal back. They inform you that they are the cargo hauler called the Lady Sapphire. And they are on course to brawl. And you can tell from their movements that they have no interest in getting close to you.
Okay, I'll signal back. I'll have it signal back that we're the Blade, right? Of the Company of the Broken Sword, on course to Kryn Space. Don't want any trouble. Good luck on your journey.
All right, they signal back safe travels to you as well. And eventually you two get far enough away from each other, swinging as wide as possible, that you're able to accelerate back into spell jamming speed.
Okay.
All right. The rest of the trip to the sphere wall is uneventful. So you arrive at the sphere wall, find a portal out into the phlogiston.
We'd all be on for that, wouldn't we?
Yeah.
All right. So we're Braxon will call out flow stations. Everyone to go around and extinguish lights. Check with the spellcasters. They haven't got any experiments in the spellcasting's research section with any flames.
You don't trust us, Braxon?
It's flow stations. That's what we double check everything.
It's fine.
It's what you do with flow stations. Get all the flames out. Let's have all the weapon people man in the weapons, just in case there's anyone trying to ambush us as we go into the phlogiston.
All right.
Finn will whip up a batch of fortifying stew for all the officers.
Okay.
Oh.
So that's 6 people that you can make it for?
I believe so, unless...
Is it 1 per level? Because if so, then I think you're up to 7th level now. You can do 7.
Let's have 'em.
Was when we come to this, was we just getting to the stage where Ockar was going to hand over, or is it still his shift?
One per level, so I can do one extra.
It's up to you who you want to make that for then. You could probably like plan it out so that you're getting there at about shift change. And so everyone gets a few extra hit points. If I remember correctly.
1d4 plus 1.
Alright. Everyone go ahead and roll 1d4 plus 1. Those are the bonus hit points that you get.
1d4 plus 1.
Not bad.
And it only lasts it only lasts a few hours,
Turn.
so once you're in the phlogiston and moving on, you can just go ahead and remove those. If nothing happens.
Duration's 1 turn,
I have to say,
isn't it?
No, it's more than 1 turn. It's like a couple hours.
I have to say
Sphere
that
healing, level 2, touch, casting time 5, duration 1 turn.
Fortifying
One bowl.
stew?
Yeah, I'm looking at it.
I remember.
1 bowl of stew, etc. a level.
I-
Saving throw.
The stew retains enchantment for 1 turn.
Oh, so it's got to
Yeah.
be. Yeah, alright.
But the effects
That's...
is like 1 hour plus 1 turn per level.
Alright.
Spells
Sorry.
effects wear off just over 3 hours.
Yeah. So just keep that in mind. If nothing happens,
Actually, it's 2 hours plus 1 round per caster's level.
So yeah, that's that 1 round is definitely an error. It's a turn. The description makes that clear if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
That is an error.
Okay.
So I'm just saying that if nothing happens right after you get into the phlogiston, you can remove those bonus hit points because they're not going to last that long.
Yeah, I've not even added mine in unless I see a combat.
Okay, that's fine too. All right. So were the spellcasters doing anything that they need to put out? Okay.
I would have handed out temporary healing potions again.
All right.
The extra bowl can go to whoever's going onto the helm.
Okay. So that would go to Nemariel. She thanks you, and eagerly digs in. You guys have noticed that she likes to eat. She's a little chubby.
That's for her. hit
Is
points.
she an elf? Or...
She is an elf, yes. So she's chubby for an elf. And just chubby, not like actually fat or anything like that.
it's nice that 3 people rolled maximum amount in a row.
All right, so you make sure that all fires are put out and transition into the phlogiston. Your sailors on watch don't report anything unusual. You begin traveling away from the crystal sphere wall in the rainbow ocean of the phlogiston and eventually move on into spelljamming speed. Glau helps you identify the proper river.
Okay.
I suppose I should roll for that.
Old.
Yep, he does. Yes.
Is it possible to do spell research during this?
Depends
Trip.
on the spell.
Well, first I want to retry that spell immunity ink research.
Sure.
How?
Yeah,
long
so
does this
ink
trip?
research is not the same as spell research.
Yeah, but
Ink
after
research
that,
doesn't. Ink research is basically. Yeah, hold on. Let me finish. Ink research is just reading. So it doesn't matter whether it is a. You can do that on a fire spell. You can do that on conjuration summoning. Spell research itself, if the spell is conjuration summoning, accesses other planes, or is a fire spell, then no, you can't do that in the phlogiston. Just so you know, actual spell research.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
And after that, see, it's
So yeah, you know that you'll be in the Phlogiston for a while to path space.
yeah.
How do we have an approximation of how long?
Uh,
Are you talking months?
4-ish
or-
weeks, give or take.
Oh, 4 weeks.
That's to path space.
Wait, how long till we get to Kryn space?
You've been to path space before, so you remember that. You're not sure about Kryn space itself.
Could I consult our navigator and ask? I mean, I would have done this during the downtime, so I can plan out how long I've got to do for research. If I have got 4 weeks...
You wouldn't know, Lafdul. When we're trying to navigate along a phlogiston route, if we're not successful, we don't know we're not successful. So if it took us 8 weeks instead of 1 week to get there, we wouldn't know until after the first week we go, we've not got there. And if we went to a random different crystal sphere, we wouldn't know until we got there.
Yes and no, but
I'm wondering if there's any hedge guesses.
well-traveled crystal spheres tend to be within a certain range. Glau would tell you that he would estimate about 2 months to get to Kryn space from here.
2 months.
Give or
Might
take.
be enough.
That was the ink research roll, and it's a success.
Okay. Well,
Nice.
And it was the spell immunity.
Because I would have used some time while traveling from Brawl to start this.
you didn't say that.
Things advance too fast. I don't know these things.
Oh, well. Never
Well,
mind, you could say it next time.
could have. Yeah, there was an encounter with a ship just a few days in. You could have said,
I felt that
by
that
the
went
way,
too fast.
interrupt.
It doesn't
There was a
matter.
lot of interrupting today.
It doesn't matter. We've learned now.
Yeah. All right, I will do it, and I am gonna put myself in a position where I will not be able to start an adventure with you because I will be stuck on a ship if this takes too long. But I am going to do scroll research for a 4th level spell. No, not spell research, but because I'm researching it from a scroll, it's only half the time, 4 weeks.
All right.
Well,
So-
if the estimate was 8 weeks to get to Kryn space,
Yeah, I
should
know
be
that
fine.
it should be fine.
I can't see us getting there at half the speed.
It's within a reasonable safety margin, so.
Yeah.
So I will be planning on researching the animated statue spell.
Okay. All right. So,
How long in the day do you need to do the research?
That's most of the day.
Most of the day.
Yes, I only get called away for checking on cruel stuff.
Yeah. So basically, and I'm not saying not to do it. It just means that we would have more NPCs doing lookout duties and stuff like that, and it'd just be that you get interrupted if someone needs healing.
Yeah.
most of
I
you
mean-
guys wouldn't need to be on active like
We're
deck
the
duty.
decision makers, basically.
Yeah, like I mean, you other than the captain and the first officer, and even then they can be in their cabin and only get called.
Yeah.
You a lot of that gets delegated, especially on hey, we expect to have multiple weeks before we get anywhere. Just call me if there's something big that goes down, kind of thing.
I'd guess that me and Ockar would do patrols periodically to check on things.
Yeah, but the rest of the people, unless they have taken on a responsibility of something that's an actual deck duty, like lookout, they can spend all their time in their cabin unless something is needed, unless they're needed for something.
That's cool.
All right, so
I suppose that means we could all try and learn stuff.
yeah, no, I mean, yeah, you can
It's-
if you have spare proficiency slots, you can definitely be using this time for doing the things that you need to do to learn those.
Do you allow the pre-training thing? Because I'm not
Yes.
sure if
Yes.
is there anyone who's not Lafdul who does healing?
I do,
Solas, you'd have to swap that
but
out.
I'm potentially doing spell research as soon as I can confirm the spell's details.
All right. Right. Okay. Well, I assume you're doing that. Is there anyone else that can do healing?
I mean, I can do one healing spell a day.
He means
And I
healing.
have,
No,
like,
no,
he means
no,
healing
no.
proficiency. He means healing proficiency.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
Okay. Let's say this. If Solas or Lafdul finishes their research, then Braxon will spend a bit of time with them trying to learn a bit of healing. So that if anything happens like what happened with Higimus, he might be able to stop someone dying.
So you do not need the healing proficiency to stop someone from bleeding out when they're below 0 hit points.
Okay.
You
That's
just
good.
need to be able to get to them.
Yeah.
And
say I'm binding their wounds.
yeah.
I'm gonna be right back.
So
It's for diagnosing diseases, poisons, and stuff.
and actually healing
actually
hit
healing.
points. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I suppose Braxon will spend the time fortifying his navigation skills.
I mean, you can
This-
still,
this-
if you still think that Braxon would want to learn the healing proficiency,
Yeah, I think he
can-
would.
you can do that. But remember, it does take 2 slots.
Yeah,
So, like,
I think he would.
Is it
do you have
outside of his?
Well, hold on. Yeah, it is. But
So it would be more, isn't it?
yeah, that's true. Yeah, so it would be 3 slots for you.
Is it free? I thought it was double.
It's not double. It's just an extra one.
Okay, so I guess I'll be learning it later.
Do you have any free slots right now at all? Non-weapon proficiency.
I don't think so.
Okay. Because you'd be looking at 9 levels before you could get it. Which is fine.
got-
It just means
I've
that...
got 10. It just means he's not very good at it.
Well, no, it just means that you don't need to do intensive studying now.
Yeah.
Like, you can definitely say that
Yep.
in downtime when we're at dinner, talking over with Solas and Lafdul about healing techniques, and
Yeah.
you're having trouble wrapping your mind around it and stuff like that, and that
Yes.
signifies
Yeah,
the fact
sure.
that it takes you a lot more to do it.
Okay. Yeah, we'll handle it that way. I think Braxon might also say it might be useful if we have little emergency boxes with some bandages in various parts of the ship.
There's something I want to mention to Leva.
Okay, real fast. I want to just add one other thing on it. If you decide that Braxon decides to learn something else instead, that's fine too.
Yeah.
So it's just one of these things that if,
Well, I've got flooded navigation, and there's also wild space navigation.
Yeah.
So I might want to learn that from our talking owl friend.
Yeah. Okay.
Before our talking owl friend finds someone more interesting to work for.
So, but you can, because it's pre-learning, you can do both of those things. You will not know enough to actually use that information at all until you get the proficiency. But it is a way to, so, so I a lot of it is just for the fluff of saying, what you're doing on this 2-month long trip. So
yeah,
so you can say that you're looking at both of them if that's
cool. And I think Braxon will do some more sparring. His new weapon skill. Is there anyone else that needs to learn how to fight with anything?
You could always be doing it with crew members.
That's true.
I mean, we do have Marines.
No, I mean, if there's anyone else that needs to learn how to fight with something, you can be sparring with Braxon during this time, if you're not doing anything else.
No, that's something to consider. All right, Lafdul, you had something for Leva?
Yeah, I can't remember. I don't want to say. How do I want to word this? I say. Actually, this is a question for the group because I can't remember if we learned this. Didn't we find something in the Citadel? We found something that was encrypted, yes, and it was in a different language. Is she ever going to learn that? What it is? because this takes a long time, like months.
You mean the icon things? Iconographic picture ones?
I don't know what it was.
It was
It's a case of I don't want us to get lost because we never did anything about it, so I'm reminding you about it.
It was either a sheet of paper or a couple sheets of paper. I can't remember right now. I'd have to go back and
It
look.
was found in a...
Wasn't it a book?
No. There were books that had other languages. He's talking about specifically a set of either one sheet of paper or a couple sheets of paper in the desk on the third level, not the fourth level. You know, around when you fought the dwarf vampire that then went into the wall and got stuck there. There were a couple sheets of paper that were written in a language you didn't know that were encrypted.
Yeah, I was just basically saying, hey, don't forget about this. We got a lot of time on our hands.
Yes, good idea. I mean, after all, she has cryptography.
We have a habit of just forgetting about things, so...
And some of these things, it might be a good idea to write your character a to-do list.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like if you want to research a spell, if you want to research, you know, like 3 spells, you can write that down. The that sheet of decrypting that sheet of paper, you can write that down. You know, and then you can just delete them or tick them off or cross them out when they get done. So then, anytime I'm like, all right, so you got a month in the Phlogiston, you got 2 months in the Phlogiston, you got a week in the Phlogiston. What do you want to do? You can just look at that and say, oh, I can do this during that time. So, Solas, you did succeed with that roll.
Yeah.
So, for spell immunity.
Mm-hmm.
You need, for that...
Would you be telling me this?
Yeah.
Because, obviously, I can use it. It's only if you're telling me this, otherwise I'm not going to write it down.
I mean, we are using the same library.
Yeah.
And there's no reason not to share unless you really want to not share.
Yeah.
No,
it's not like share it's not like this. It's not like this is some Ogma secret.
Okay, so you need 100 gold pieces worth of powdered augolite, which is a stone, a gem. Augelite.
Okay.
Charred and powdered bone from a juju zombie.
Charred and powdered bone from juju zombie.
Ink from a kraken. And feather of a Pegasus touched by pure magic.
Feather from a Pegasus touched by pure magic.
Mm-hmm.
That's the whole recipe.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hardest part most likely is to come by juju zombies and getting ink from a kraken. And of course, it's not going to be easy that touched by pure magic thing for Pegasus feather.
Sorry, Augite.
Augolite. A-U-G.
Yeah.
E-L-I-T-E.
E-L, sorry.
Yeah, E-L. I-T-E.
Yeah, thank you.
100
gold.
Can it be that the feather itself is just touched by the pure magic, or does it have to be the Pegasus before the feather is obtained?
You will probably have to experiment.
Okay.
Pure magic? Was that be like magic from the North Sphere?
That's pure magic. Some of these are puzzles that you need to work out, come up with inventive ways to do that.
Can Finn research potions?
I don't think you can do potions yet. I think you need to be 9th level.
You can do scrolls.
But you can do scrolls.
Potions.
Ah. Okay.
scroll inks at 7th level, and you can always research a spell if you have some spells that you wanna research.
Okay.
All right. So, any other scroll inks?
No scroll inks that I'm needing to research, but
All right.
I
You had a spell?
still haven't. Well, I haven't got the book open.
Okay.
It's loading really slow.
All right. Anything anyone else wants to do on the month-long journey to Pathspace?
I suppose Braxon will have to go over the side of it at some barnacles
Okay, I'm
and
back.
stuff.
I mean, you'd probably do that periodically, or have crew do
Yeah.
that periodically.
Yeah.
The
Um,
barnacles.
you would find no significant incrustations.
Cool.
Leva, if she has the time, in addition to the other things, she would like to study, research, detect invisible. Learn the spell from a scroll.
Okay, so it's a 2nd level spell.
Mm-hmm.
So that would only be 2 weeks then with the scroll.
Sounds good to me.
Okay. Let's see. Give me
I
a
think
second.
Finn might like to
Mhm.
research how to make protection from fire scrolls then.
Okay. I will need to come up with a recipe for that, but I'll let you roll on it. Actually, you don't have spellcraft.
Right.
So that is going to prevent you from doing that. Sorry.
Okay.
Sorry, I forgot about that.
Doesn't missing spellcraft also prevent normal spell research?
Yeah, it does. You do need spellcraft for that, for both of those. I'm used to the other guys having that, so sorry.
That's okay.
Yeah, it's usually automatic pick for spellcasters.
Well, it depends on what you want, and
I
it
didn't
doesn't have to
pick
be.
it straight away.
Yeah. Lafdul didn't get it right away.
I was like, oh, that's actually super useful.
Oh, one thing Braxton does want to figure out.
Mm-hmm.
He made some door wedges before to stop doors opening towards us.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to try and figure out a way to stop doors opening away from him. He tried before and he couldn't figure anything out.
Yeah, it's called getting the wedge on the other side of the door.
He's convinced there's some sort of contraption he can make.
Oh, I'm sure the gnomes would be more than happy to sell you something. I don't know if you'd want it, but... Alright, so let's see. Leva. Let's see. You have 18 intelligence, so that's that. You're 10th level or 11th level?
Oh. 10.
Okay. Alright, so the initial chance is 34%.
Why so low?
Because it's 10% plus 1 per point of relevant ability score, plus 1% per experience level, minus 2 times spell level, and then if you fail it, each additional week is a cumulative 10% chance.
Okay.
But I would think that roll succeeds.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So there you go. Detect invisibility.
And the pages. What is the pages again?
1d6 minus 1 plus the spell level.
I just remembered that we forgot one thing when we were on Brawl.
Uh-huh.
The Syndiath line guy who we rescued. We were supposed to go with him to the Syndiath line.
Whoops. He waited and you got busy, and so he left on his own. Oh well.
Ah, well, that's what happens when you spend ages arguing with rules. Right, arguing about rules with Alden. How much is one of these?
or just, you know, not having a checklist of things that you want to do.
Yeah, okay. Fair enough. Well, I think we previously got told there's no point talking to Cindy.
I don't specifically recall saying that. It may have been that there was no point in talking to them in Forge space.
No, that's true. That's true.
Alright, so 6 pages there. Alright.
It's unfortunate. How many pages you got left?
It seems that the lower level spells need more pages than the higher level spells lately.
I mean, it isn't that long since Levat got new book.
Alright, so Lafdul, do you want to...
It's been 4 weeks.
I mean, it can, if no one else has anything else in particular they want to do at a particular point.
Anyone? No? I'm rolling.
Okay. Well, hold on.
Oh.
I mean, yeah, you can still roll, but... Alright, so...
Failed, though, anyway, for this week. For the 4 weeks.
Yeah.
I need 27.
Okay. Alright, so, 4 weeks have passed. If anyone has anything that they want to do before getting to Path Space,
Any
speak
other
up now.
Spells?
Well, I would, but it's still loading the book.
You could try propagating my plants, Finn, during this time. See if you can get more of them. There's full berry bushes.
Basically, Solas is having problems with the library.
Someone keeps
Someone's
putting the
have-
books out of order.
Mhm.
Well, what spell are you looking at? I mean, what spell do you want to...
It was the Dweomer flow.
Oh, 8 weeks.
It's 4th level spell. If
Yeah, it's 2 weeks per spell level now.
Yeah, and you don't... unless you have a scroll of it.
I don't.
Okay. Alright, so... go ahead and calculate out what you need for that.
Let's see. So it was 10% plus the relevant stat plus character level.
Yeah.
Minus spell level.
Yeah.
So
It's 20... Oh,
10, 7, 27...
it's
No,
25.
26, 26 plus 7, so 33 minus 4, so 29.
How was yours lower? Yeah, I've got higher stats.
I have 10% plus 16, so 26.
Yeah, 26.
7th level, so it's 33 minus 4. Or was it?
Minus is 2 per spell.
It was 2. Okay, so
minus
minus 8. So 25.
Is this going to be like 8 weeks that have passed?
You'll get that after 8 weeks.
So I got to keep rolling when weeks progress.
Yeah. Alright, so,
Braxon wants to have a chat with Ockar before we come out to Phlogiston.
alright, well, okay, you don't necessarily have to come out of the Phlogiston. You don't actually have to go
That's true.
into Path Space if you don't want to, since you're passing it.
Alright, well, Braxton will ask over dinner if anyone wants to go into Path Space and have a look inside. Or if any of the clerical people want to cast spells to see if their deities are inside Path Space.
Well, I haven't used my spells, so...
Yeah, I haven't had to use mine either.
Yeah, I know, but do you want to find out if your deities are in past space while we are here?
Well, not at the moment,
Not really.
Okay.
Not really.
since we can do that on the
We do
return
it when
trip.
it's relevant.
Or on the return trip.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I thought you might want to know before we come back that you'll be restricted.
All right, on
But that's fine.
the 25th day, out from Brawl.
Well, can Braxon have a quick chat with Ockar?
Yeah, this is before you actually get to pass space.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
So you can't even see the sphere. So this is going to be before you've gotten
Either of the spells.
yeah, obviously since you failed as well, but it's also before you failed.
Hmm. So this might add on a day if it's a fight.
Yep. You drop out of the out of spelljamming speed to see ahead of you a large butterfly-shaped ship at the kind of the furthest extent that you could. It's traveling in the opposite direction of you, so it's coming towards you. Pretty obvious to guess that it is likely on its way to Brawl. Large vessel shaped like a butterfly, shades of green, very gorgeous ship. You obviously recognize it right away as an elven man-o-war. And they appear to be signaling.
What shift's on?
So this is on... apparently I forgot to write that down. Hold on. I did it for I literally did it for all the others, and this one I forgot. Hold on a second.
Roll a D2. Are we close enough to the sphere that we'd all be on shift?
No.
Right.
It is actually just at the end of second shift on the 25th day.
Ooh. Okay.
So
Braxon reads
at
no
this
message.
point, pretty much everyone would likely be awake, since it is pretty close to the shift changeover back to first shift. So they're signaling you, and that comes out. We are the Imperial ship Airdrie's Grace. State your vessel's origins and intentions.
Imperial ship? Oh, sounds like the Elven Navy.
Well, it is Elven warship.
What grace?
Airdrie's Grace.
Eradri. Braxon signals back. This is the Blade from representing the company of the Broken Sword out of Brow. What are your intentions?
They ask you your intentions first.
Oh, okay. Our intentions are to go to Grinspace. What are your intentions? Do they look like they're the Imperial Navy?
It's hard to say, but they indicated that they were.
They indicated that they were.
Yeah. The signal that you got from them doesn't strike you as suspicious in any way.
Yeah.
Um,
Braxon signals, we are friendly towards the Imperial Navy. Do you need any assistance?
if you want to, you can also say what you are. Like you're an adventuring vessel. You know, if you're saying that you're adventurers, that says something about what you are, what you do, kind of thing.
Okay, yeah. Okay, we're an adventuring company. We've worked for the Imperial Navy in the past. Do you need any assistance?
Did you give the name of your company? Or just a ship name?
Yeah, company. I did say representing the company, the Broken Sword,
Okay.
so yeah.
So they signal back to you, greetings, company of the Broken Sword. We have encountered no trouble on our way here. You should have smooth sailing the rest of the way to path space. Is there any news to report in Brawl?
We have no news on Brow, but we're investigating a problem the Syndiath line has in Crin Space.
They signal back to you, good luck on your journey, safe travels, good luck with the aid. We have no direct information that we can help you with that on that. And it's basically kind of a conclusory, you know, they don't see anything necessary to investigate you about kind of thing. So they're basically just wishing you safe travels at this point.
Can Braxon signal in Elven?
I would say no, because you're like,
yeah,
the signaling isn't
not the same thing.
Yeah, no, you don't know how to signal in Elvish, and they were signaling in Common anyway.
Yeah.
Oh, there's specific languages.
Since Leva is there too. There is Braxon. Could you ask them about this? We're doing dragon. I think just a second. Where is it? Dragonfly. Whether they've seen a trader in a dragonfly.
What's the name? The white something.
Hagash Thunder.
That was the. I've got it on my sheet. That's the name of the captain or something. Where is it?
I have a trader name, Hagash Thunder, and in the ship, but no ship name.
Oh, the White Wing.
Yeah, there was White Wing.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I missed that.
Dragonfly by the name of the White Wing, Hagash Thunder is the merchant.
Well, you can just ask for the ship name. That would be normal.
Yeah, Braxton signals back. Have you seen a dragonfly by the name of the White Wing? We're looking to talk to the captain.
They signal back. We have no news of such a ship, unfortunately. Then they follow up. Is this a pirate? Is this someone that we should be looking to interrogate?
It's not a pirate, is it?
Wrong?
Someone we want to do business deal with.
Yeah. He's a trader.
You keep it vague. They'll be suspicious. It's all sin.
Braxon sends back. No, it's just a trader, but it's someone that might have some information for us that's useful, not specifically for this mission.
Yeah, they were basically asking, is this something that we should be on the lookout to, capture and stuff like that. So they respond back, acknowledged, have no information at this time, sorry. Apologies.
Braxton signals back, thank you for your time, happy travels.
Alright. A few minutes later, they will pass you. You can clearly see humanoids on deck as you're passing. And then minutes later,
Braxton makes sure Glausenwick's on deck so he can see in case he wants to.
Oh yeah. He's been up on deck paying attention the whole time. You pass by and accelerate back into spelljamming speed. Glau will flutter over to you and say, and kind of like, ask you a little bit about what was signaling, just nodding along as you kind of repeat back. He didn't want to be, in your face about it while it was actually going on.
Yeah.
Because he's just curious rather than having anything to add.
I think Braxon he doesn't need to speak aloud while he's thinking, but I think he will speak aloud as he's reading signals and say what he's signaling back so that the officers around him know what he's saying.
Right, fair enough. Glau will keep that in mind. If you kind of let that, he kind of stayed out of the way. He's a navigator, so it's like,
yeah,
I don't have anything to add to this, so but he'll keep that in mind and try to stay closer in case he.
Braxton will say you're one of the officers. If you want to see what's going on, as long as you don't jump in front of me and flappy wings, so I can't see the signals. It's fine.
He lets out a chuckle and says, I appreciate it. Being elevated to a rank is very pleasing to me, even if I am also a member of Parliament. And the next couple days pass uneventfully. So that was on the 25th day. It takes until 31 days out of brawl space for you to spot the sphere wall. And you said that you wanted to talk to Ockar about something.
Yeah. Doesn't have to
Okay.
be precisely on the sphere wall. Braxon says, Ockar, I've come up with a plan. I don't know whether it will work. And I don't know what sort of metal you have. I know that you can use a flint and steel to make sparks. So I was wondering if I'd either be able to make steel arrow tips or flint arrow tips, and if we'd be able to use our ballistas to fire the opposite thing onto an enemy ship.
Well, that would require. Well, one, the ship would have to be made out of metal, or we'd have to be very lucky to have a metal part of the ship.
Well, no, what I'm saying is, if we were to have shots for our catapults that were sort of bags of flints and fire them at an enemy ship and then fire steel arrows at the flints, or the reverse, we might be able to come up with a way that our archers can cause sparks on an enemy ship that attacks us in the Phlogiston.
They'd have
Now,
to be very good shots to hit the pieces of flint.
True, but if we fired big bags of stuff, there might be an increased chance. I was just thinking it might be worth doing an experiment in future, and I was wondering, is that the sort of thing you could do with your armor making skills?
No, I'm not a Fletcher.
No, I can make arrows. So I'd either have to get... I don't think I can make steel arrow tips. I'd have to buy them. But we might be able to get some scrap steel.
I mean, I could help you try to forge them, but
Yeah.
that's
Obviously
how
we
much
can't
stuff will be.
Obviously, we can't forge stuff now.
I'm not really a weapon maker. I'm an armor maker. It's kind of a different process.
Right. Okay. Well, it's something to bear in mind. I think we might be able to next time we settle down somewhere. Try doing an experiment. Thanks for listening to me.
No problem.
All right, so yeah, you'll have to just keep in mind to purchase some materials if you want to try that out.
Yeah. Might also work with ballista bolts.
And heat metal, Lafdul, just makes metal hot.
Doesn't change the properties of the metal.
No, it just makes it hot.
Just a or not conductor. What's the opposite?
It doesn't make it soft. It doesn't make it malleable. You can't use that to help forge.
Just heats.
Yeah. Now, you can use that heat to set something on fire if you hold it there long enough, kind of thing. But
Interesting.
because that's just a property of heat. But it does not make it malleable. It does not help you in forging or anything like that, or repair.
So
Dry paper be heated up to suddenly ignite, combust?
Did Lafdul hear Braxon talking to Ockar and come up and start talking about it?
No, that was entirely unrelated.
Oh, okay.
So the problem is that it doesn't, like, it'll cause it to smolder. So it's you kind of like, you know how when you you use a magnifying glass to set paper on fire?
Yeah.
It takes a while.
Mm.
So it's the same kind of thing. Yeah, you could set paper or wood or cloth alight with heat metal, but it would have to be
next to a fuse, so it would chain react or something because they're close together. It'd be like a sudden flash, but it'd be enough to set the fuse on fire.
But it would be the kind of thing where you would need the hot metal to be sitting next to touching the fuse for multiple rounds.
So Lafdul, what?
It's not me, it's Finnel.
Finn, right? Does Braxon know Finn's got a heat metal spell?
I believe he's used it to cook some
Yeah,
stuff for you in
a
the
couple
Phlogiston.
Finn is only one who can cast heat metal.
Yeah, Braxon's going to go to Finn, and he's saying, I've been having thoughts about how we might start a fire on an enemy ship that attacks us in the Phlogiston. And I believe you've got a spell that heats up metal.
I do.
I'm wondering what we might be able to do with that spell. Would it have to be cast on one specific piece of metal, or can you, if we had a bunch of scrap metal, could you heat lots of metal that are not necessarily physically connected?
I have to go look up the spell now.
Okay. Let me tell you what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that if we loaded up the catapults.
At this point, quickly notification that there is a range of 40 yards for the spell.
Yeah, so it would be people trying to board and stuff. I'm thinking if we loaded up the catapults at fairly short range and fired stuff at ship, we might be able to have little things that catch in their sails or that sort of thing, start a fire.
It may be possible.
Yeah. I'm wondering if we might want to try and experiment at some point in the future, if we can figure out a way to do it. Maybe we make a target and just target into the Phlogiston and then try and blow it up.
We could try that.
So in terms of casting it, it doesn't specifically say that it has to be one object, but I would say that it can affect multiple pieces of metal if they would be considered one object.
Uh-huh.
A suit of mail armor, it's made up of lots of different pieces of metal, but they're all interlinked and they're all touching each other and they're all forming one object.
Fair enough.
I don't know if you could do that with a quiver of arrowheads or a box of scrap.
Right. So you wouldn't want someone to do heat metal on Caltrops, for example?
No, I don't think that would work.
Fair enough.
It would take minimum of 3 rounds for it to be searing hot.
Yeah.
And after that it would be 2 more rounds of searing hot, and during that time it can only set something on fire.
Okay, I guess we'll try to go for something that sort of clings on to things. Maybe chains. Chains might do it. If we tied up a... Well, that's more that other weapon, isn't it? That fires 2 things. But if we fired a chain at an enemy ship and it wrapped around things and got hot, that might do something.
Yeah, you'd try something like that.
Okay. Well,
but,
anyway,
I mean, you can definitely put that sort of thing, 2 balls connected by a chain, in a catapult.
Yeah.
One question, Old.
Mm-hmm.
Is that 40 yards the range that has to be constantly within the target, or is it just when you cast the spell?
It's just when you cast it.
Okay.
So I mean, yeah, you could cast it on an iron catapult shot and fire it, and hope that it hits their vessel and stays on their vessel, and then starts burning.
Yeah. If we were to get a catapult shot that had spikes on, would it be more or less likely to bounce off?
No, it wouldn't be I mean, it wouldn't be more or less likely. I'd basically roll to see where it hit, and then decide. Like, if it hit the deck, it would be much more likely to stay there.
Right.
Than if it hits the side of the ship or something like that. All right, so you're approaching the sphere for path space. Did you decide to pass it by and continue on?
I didn't hear anyone say they wanted to go in and find anything.
No.
Okay.
I think it's better that we go straight to green space at the moment.
Yeah.
We can visit path space on our way back. Since while we are not on a strict time schedule, faster we get to green is better.
And if you have no reason to go in, then what reason is there to go in?
Mm-hmm.
I ask redundantly. All right, so you find the appropriate river and begin to travel down that from path space to Kryn space. The initial part of the trip is uneventful. So since the last roll, Lafdul, a week has passed.
Mm-hmm. Goes up to 37 then.
Yep. Okay. Is there anything that anyone else is planning to do?
I think I had the whole time for that spell research,
Okay.
since I don't have the scroll.
Mm.
All right. Another week passes, so Lafdul, you can make
Well-
another roll. Nothing. What? I'm sorry. Someone.
Leva will look at those encrypted pages.
Okay. Are you using comprehend languages to do that? Because it's in a language you don't know.
Yes, and also, let me see. Can I use the cryptography to help?
Well, you need to comprehend languages to use cryptography, so that's kind of a 1-2 thing.
Okay. Yes, then she will use comprehend languages.
What's your score for cryptography?
18.
Okay. Since it's a language that you don't know and you're using a magic to translate it, this is going to reduce your score. So go ahead and roll with a +6, please.
Ah. Okay. +6. Ah, got it. Sort of.
No, that's putting you at 19. 13 plus 6 would be
No,
19.
what's this? I had the 6 in there.
Yeah, but I don't know
It's-
how you got that, but that's putting it on top of the number you need. So it's changing the number you need.
Oh, so it should have been -6 there.
Yeah, for there it would be.
Okay.
I will say that you can keep trying it,
Mm-hmm.
but it'll be another -2 or +2 or however you want to handle that, making it worse.
Let's make it this way. Just simple. And then calculate.
Okay, that's
So it's now 18, you said plus -6.
yeah,
Well,
that's
it's-
definitely a failure.
Yes.
One more failure, one more roll, and I think that you'll say it's beyond you. Okay, you finally do figure it out. It's taken weeks of trying to decipher this thing. But you finally think you figured it out, and it appears to be an encrypted plan for a trap.
For a trap.
Yeah, in a hallway.
Okay. In a hallway. So Leva tells that to the others. Does she, can she tell them the trap, or does she?
Yeah,
just
you've
tell them
deciphered it.
in-
You've deciphered it. You can. I mean,
None of
you
the
don't have
trap-
engineering, so there's a fair bit that you can't. You know, I mean, like some of it's pretty vague to you. Like you're like, so it's saying this, but I don't really understand that. You know, like you've decrypted it and translated it, but you don't understand what that means.
I passed that on to the others. I say
technical
I
terminology.
don't really know what I'm looking at, but here's what the decoded part says.
Solas to be interested, being an engineer.
Wouldn't Lafdul like a
I
trap?
would, but I don't really make traps at the moment.
Would Lafdul understand it?
Maybe. Lafdul, would you be
Would I?
actually listening to the
look at it.
details?
Yeah. What's the word?
All right. So it appears that this trap
If I heard of such a thing, this design.
is a pressure plate and steel bars would lock someone in a hallway, and then there
Oh.
would be gas would come out.
Yeah, we've came across that.
Yeah.
Is that like a bear trap?
Lafdul,
use that on the
you
ship?
do realize now that this is the plans for the trap that you disarmed in the Citadel.
Does it
Solas
tell
is
you how to
interested.
make it though?
I mean, it is the plans.
Yes and no. You realize that certain aspects of it require magics that you don't have access to, that you don't know.
Mm.
Like, there's definitely a magical component to this that you don't know, but the physical parts of it, yeah.
I mean, the magical part is possible to start research.
Is it?
Maybe.
Could it be incorporated into a glyph warding of some kind or something? I don't know.
You'd need to know the magic in the first place, so no.
Yeah.
Like, not without researching whatever magic is involved.
I mean, someone could
The
learn magic.
so it used magic of a type that you don't know to hide a lot of the mechanism, and it used magic to create the deadly gas. So you don't know the details on those parts.
Is it possible to say if it's clerical or arcane magic?
It's definitely priestly magic. It's
Okay.
not wizardly magic.
You pass this by Finnel'ar as well as Solas.
Could
None of you are familiar with the magics in question. None of them strike you as
could
familiar.
could is it possible that we would be able to devise arcane
No.
equivalent spells?
Could we do research on this to figure out the spells?
I mean, you can try.
I mean, I'm doing research, you're doing research, and Finnel'ar doesn't have spellcraft. It'll be a while.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, keep it in mind.
Yeah.
But I will tell you that you will not know whether it is something that you can actually make use of until you finish the
No.
research.
But if I can come up with the details of this spell, I could probably, I don't know.
If you
A
come up
temple
with
might be
if you
interested in it, and
come
they
up with the
might be
details
interested.
of the spell, it will reveal to you whether it is something that you would have access to.
Well, we just knowing the details of the trap is helpful in that if we encounter a similar trap that is made same way, we might be able to more easily disarm it. Or counter it other ways.
It's possible.
Or you can use this plans to create another type of trap.
If Braxon sees people talking about this, he says, do you think you can use this to make anti-boarding mechanisms?
No. You could trap a corridor, maybe, if we learn how it worked.
Yeah, but
The trap would require considerable space around the corridor.
yeah, the amount of space needed is not something that would be usable in a ship. At least not the gas part.
Because one of the things that it was specifically designed to do was trap someone in the corridor while this deadly gas was created by magic,
Mm-hmm.
thus preventing them from leaving that area, so that they would have to breathe it in. They couldn't just, like, run out of it and survive.
So
All right.
maybe we could put something like that on our base, but I don't know the gas people.
Well, we don't have to necessarily make it a gas trap, but to make use of these mechanical details in here.
The actual trap. Do you think we can trap people that climb over our ship's rail using the same sort of trap, or would that be a completely different sort of trap?
It basically is a trap that encloses the passageway or corridor.
So what, do the walls come in and grab people?
No, you remember the trap that was in front of the crypt of that vampire dwarf?
Yeah,
it's that trap.
I think Lafdul neutralized it by finding a plate on the floor to step on.
Yeah.
I didn't actually see it in action.
Well, it was basically...
I was stopping the triggering mechanism and I was plugging up the pipes with some
It was basically that it would have blocked the corridor off with, was it bars or something like that?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it wouldn't hurt to have doors that we could lock that stop people getting into the ship with the mechanism.
Yeah, but if we want to trap any part of our ship, we would have to basically make it a magical trap that can detect if the one passing through is enemy or not. Otherwise, it risks our crew members.
Yeah.
Yeah, something we can discuss now.
So.
All right. So at the same time, another week has passed for Lafdul. You can roll again with another 10% on top.
47.
Mm-hmm.
That's laggy. Wow, this spell's getting beyond me so far.
Let's see. Okay. Another week passes. You can roll one more time. Yep.
57. Oh, barely.
There you go. All right, you've learned that spell.
Yay, I can animate my Sphinx that I've not brought with me. It's fine. It's in case I... well, I don't know when I'd ever use this spell, but it is extremely useful.
Did you guys calculate out the cost as well?
I am doing that now.
And the cost of research? I don't think you did.
The basic cost
1
is
to 1,000 per spell level.
Yeah.
How much, sir?
Hold on a second. Let me see if that increases as you spend more weeks on it.
Don't know if I wrote down how much it costs. 100. Well, 1d100.
No, it's 1d10.
No, 1d10 multiplied by 100. Go pieces per spell level.
Okay. All right. So let's see. Each of you were researching one, Leva, Lafdul, and Solas?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So Leva, that was a second level spell.
Yes.
$200 gold.
Oh, that's cheap. Thank you.
200 exactly.
Mm-hmm.
That's cheap.
Lafdul and Solas, that was a 4th level for each of you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, 1,600 for you, Solas.
Okay.
And 1,200 for Lafdul.
Okie dokie.
So I'm not completely broke yet.
No, I've got
Do I-
plenty.
Do I remember this right? The skull is used up, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it is. You have to run them off.
Because one aspect of it is you cast at some point during that you cast it and you're analyzing how it works and stuff like that in a controlled environment. All right, so not too long after that, 21 days after leaving Path Space, you find yourself approaching a crystal sphere. The trip was completely uneventful, other than, you know, your research. And that's where we're going to call the session here.
We must be getting loads of experience points from all the fights this week.
Casters will get a lot for their spell research.
That's true.
Actually, did I get spell XP for my scribe spell?
I do not remember one way or the other. So it's a little late now.
No. I mean, it would have only been like 100 or something anyway.
Braxon's getting 10 XP this week.
Alright, so everyone is getting 300 experience points.
300?
Yep.
Okay.
And
that's more than I thought.
Let's see. So for those who did some spell research, I will need to do something. I'm trying to find where my document is.
Oh, this is so much fun when you got multi-class.
Did I get anything extra, or is it just the spell researchers?
It's just the spell researchers who are getting some extra.
Okay, then I'll just
all right.
get all this down, and I'm gonna head out. See ya.
All right, see ya.
Bye. See you later, okay.
All right, so spell researched is going to be, that's 1,000 for Leva.
Wow.
Really?
And 2,000 for Lafdul and Solas.
To the priest.
For the class.
Yeah.
So 2,150 for my cleric and 150 for my mage.
Right. It's actually nice for my priest to get some more XP, because that's the class that's lagging behind my thief.
Well,
That
I
is
mean,
clearly
97,000 for the next level.
Do you get XP for researching scrollings and?
No.
Okay. So magic item
It's
research.
a missed opportunity because we've gone through like loads.
You get XP for making magic items.
Oh, we do? Oh,
Yes. But not for researching how to do it. You have to actually go through the process and make it.
Yeah, there are specific XP values for items.
Yeah.
And usually that XP value also is part of their cost, influences their cost.
Yeah. But that is when you get to that point, and that includes actually scribing scrolls. So you will get XP for making magic scrolls.
Well, I'm only needing an injured person to make scrolls of cure light wounds.
Yeah, you know, just stab someone. So when that time comes, that XP is general XP. It'll just be split between. So for multi-class characters, it goes to both your classes. It's life experience, not class experience. All right. So when we come back next time, the party has arrived at Kryn Space, and they'll be heading in, trying to find this pirate. I hope you guys have some ideas on how you want to do that, because you are going to need to find this guy. You can just wander around Kryn Space hoping that you encounter him, but that might not be the best plan.
We need to find something he's stolen that's unique. And if we can't find something that he's stolen that's unique, we should make some stuff. Then we can use our magic item that finds things.
You can certainly try to do that.
Or we try to get info on where he's operating, where he raids ships and try to sail that and look like a target.
Yep. Oh, I wonder if we can get an illusion cast on our ship to make it look like a Cindiath line ship.
That's something you can consider.
Yeah, or we can ask Cindiath permission to fly their colours and look like we're not good at defending ourselves.
I mean, that's all things that you can consider.
Yeah.
Some of that you might want to discuss amongst yourselves before next week, so that you're ready to, get to it. I mean, you're going to need to start, asking around first and get to some planets, but just, something to consider. Anyway, I want to thank you guys for playing. Thanks everyone out there for watching. We'll be back next week for more of this new campaign leg. New campaign arc on the adventure, new adventure arc on the campaign. One of those things.
It's like wordplay, like I have to do all the time.
See you next time, everyone.
Thanks for the game.